Lesson 6-7, percent of change. In this lesson, we are still going to set up percent proportions, but we're going to find the percent that something changes. Let me show you an example of when you might use this. Alright, since Christmas break, Miss Michaelis has changed her nightly sleeping from 9.5 hours per night to 7 hours. So what is the percent of increase or decrease in my sleeping? Well, first the question you need to ask, did my amount of sleeping increase or did it decrease? During Christmas break I was getting 9.5 hours of sleep. Now I only get 7. So that was a percent of decrease. Alright, so to find how much that changed, this is the formula you're going to have to remember. So the percent of change, that's what we want to find. You take the amount of change over the original. How I'm going to talk about this is change, and I would write this down in your notes. Change over original equals percent over 100. So it kind of looks like our is over of equals percent over 100, but this is a formula, or our proportion, I should say, for percent of change. Change over original equals percent over 100. Alright, so let's do an example. In this example, we're going to find the percent of increase. So now I already told you that we're increasing, but you should always ask yourself the question, are we increasing or decreasing? So find the percent of increase from 4 to 7.5. Alright, a lot of people want to write down what it changed to on the top of their proportion. But you need to remember the formula is how much did it change over the original. So from 4 to 7.5, we changed 3.5 because it increased 3.5. Then I put it over my original amount, which was 4. And I set that equal to percent over 100. We are always solving for the percent. Alright, then I'm going to cross multiply. 3.5 times 100 is 350. And 4 times x for our percent. 350 divided by 4, I get x equals 87.5%. So it increased 87.5%. I'm going to go back to the first example and let's actually find out how much my sleeping decreased. So I want change over original. So I changed from 9.5 hours to 7. Well, that's a difference of 2.5 hours. I'm going to put that over my original, which was 9.5. Set that equal to x over 100. 2.5 times 100 is 250. Divide by 9.5. I get 26. I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. So my sleeping, my nightly sleeping, decreased 26.3%. Alright, I wanted to make sure we talked about that example. Let's do another one. Find the percent of increase from 100 to 114. Formula is change over original equals percent over 100. So it changed 14. In the original was 100. Set that equal to x over 100. 100 divided by 100. X equals 14% increase. Alright, we're going to do an example of percent increase but with a word problem. Alright, so we want to find the percent of increase in solid waste production from 1970 to 1980. So 1970 is 121 million, and in 1980 there was 152 million. So my formula, change over original. Here's my original, 121. I'm going to put that on bottom. So from 121 to 152, if I find the difference, or take the bigger number, subtract the smaller number, there's a difference or change of 31. And I'm going to set that equal to x over 100. 31 times 100, divide by 121. I get, and I'm going to round again, round to the nearest percent. Always important to look at the directions. 20, oops, I rounded wrong. 26% increase in solid waste production. All right, and finally we're going to do an example of percent decrease. The formula does not change. We do how much did it change over the original equals percent over 100. Find the percent of decrease from 1,500 to 1,416. So you can see the numbers went down. How much did they go down by? We'll subtract them. I get the difference between 1,500 and 1,416 is 84 over the original amount, 1,500, equals percent over 100. So I do cross multiplying, 84 times 100, divide by 1,500, and I get 5.6% decrease. All right, I'm going to leave it to you. I have two problems for you to do. One is a percent increase and one is a percent decrease. Don't forget your formula, change over original equals percent over 100. Bring this to class.